Hey guys, it's your radio host, Lady P. This is the new relationship show. Yeah, that was Cousin Howard. This is the new relationship show where we talk about relationship issues from a male and female standpoint. But now, the first segment of our show is the Battle of the Sexes. So we have our Team Pink contestant, Nan. We've got our Team Blue contestant, Ben. So how this portion of the show goes is that each of them has 3 questions. The one who gets the most correct wins. And so far, for the months, we had Team Blue won January, Team Pink won February. So far in March, Team Blue won last week. So we're going to match up and see what we can do today.
You gonna win again this week?
Well, that remains to be seen. Now,
Yeah, I'm ready as I can be.
it remains to be seen who wins today. But what I do know is that Team Pink can go first or they can go last because since you guys won last week, we get to pick. So, Nan, what's your choice?
Thank you.
I just said.
Y'all did not win.
No, they won last week.
Right, but now we know you won last week, but now we have the choice.
So we get to pick who goes.
It's my show. I can pick who gets to pick. I can change the rules when I want to.
It's our show.
It's my game, so I get to pick.
You go first. You go first.
So who would like to go first?
Then just select y'all go first.
Okay, so we'll go first. We're not scared of you, but
Okay.
you guys really need to work on your sportsmanship and how you act when you win because we've tried to take the high road. When you go low, we go high. We've tried to do that to show you how to act when you win. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working because, especially you, cousin, I'm just saying. So, we're trying to school you and give you some etiquette and show you how to have sportsmanlike conduct. But anyway, for those of you who've never seen the show, this portion is the Battle of the Sexes. And the teams are squared up. Right now, each one has won a month. And now for the month of March, we're going to see which one is going to pull ahead. Right now, the boys are up because they did win last week. So Team Pink will go first, and we will see how it goes. So, Cousin Howard, come with your questions. Let's go. All that talking, you not ready?
I'm ready. I'm trying to pronounce this word. I could never pronounce this word.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Was it from the BWB, the Big Word Book? You want me to say the word for you?
Yeah.
Caligynophobia is the word.
It's a fear of beautiful women.
And is that...
Is it true or false answer? True or false?
Would you like your 10 seconds? Would you like your lifeline? It's all up to you.
Better use your lifeline. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Lifeline because I don't even know what the word is.
Okay. So using the lifeline, the answer is true. Caligynophobia is a fear of beautiful women. So that one with the lifeline. Oops, that wasn't even loud enough. Wait.
Yay!
That one with the lifeline is our first correct for Team Pink. Come with your next question, cousin, please.
Okay, this is a yes or no answer. In the Star Wars series, did Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia ever become lovers?
Oh, sorry. Okay. Would you like your 10 seconds?
In Star Wars.
Yeah. You know the movie, Luke Skywalker?
It was a series. It wasn't just one movie. I'm just putting that out there. But
It was a series of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever become lovers? Yes or
No. Yay!
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to? And actually, yes, because Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia found out that they were brother and sister. If Anyone who watched Star Wars would know. Okay, come with your third question. That's 2 right for Team Pink. Let's go.
Which famous cartoon character said, "Nothing takes the taste out of peanuts butter quite like unrequited love"? A. Charlie Brown, B. Popeye, or C. Calvin?
Would you like your 10 seconds?
Repeat that.
Oh, she said
Huh?
repeat. She said repeat it.
Which famous cartoon character said, "Nothing takes the taste out of peanut butter quite like unrequited love"? You want the answers again?
Yes, please.
A. Charlie Brown, B. Popeyes, or C. Calvin?
You want your 10 seconds?
A. Charlie Brown.
Oh, you don't want your 10 seconds.
Yay!
So, that's 3 correct for Team Pink. So, don't be nervous, Ben, but for you
For what?
to...
Okay,
For you-
who is Calvin?
Calvin, I believe, is
Well-
a character about a dog, a red
I'm trying
dog.
to pick on me, huh?
Wasn't he a red dog? The cartoon? I believe.
No,
Oh, no, that was
Calvin
Clifford.
Was
I don't know what Calvin...
Calvin was a big head cartoon character dude.
That must have been before my day, because I don't even know that one.
Arrogant
I
little.
don't recall a Calvin.
He was an arrogant little dude.
Also, well, Cousin Howard is, way older than us. So that's probably why because yes, I'm not familiar with Calvin either. I was thinking it was Clifford with the big red dog. So thank
Clifford is the big red dog.
I know that's what I'm saying, but I've never heard of Calvin. So it must have come on, before my day of watching cartoons. Probably in your day.
Really?
I'm just. I mean, Nan doesn't know it either. So
You realize you're just about a year younger than me.
oh, in your wishes. It's a wish of yours to only be a year older than I am. But it's okay. I mean, one thing about black doesn't crack. None of us look our age. So, I mean, I don't mind saying I got to the age I got to because, I don't look it. So, anyway.
Whatever. Come on, Ben.
Okay, Ben, so you ready? You ready, Ben?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So the first question is this. In the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, which classic love song does she sing? Okay? Your options are this. A, Unforgettable. B, Moon River. C, Love Story. Would you like your 10 seconds?
Lifeline.
Repeat
The options are
the
A,
three answers again.
A, Unforgettable. B, Moon River. C, Love Story.
Yeah, give me my 10 seconds.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And your answer?
Moon River.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Woman.
Yay!
I just wanted to make sure.
That's wanted to make sure,
That
man.
it was his. I mean, I'm trying to help you out, Ben. Don't let cousin have you thinking that I'm against you. I'm for you. I was trying to help you out.
Really?
So,
Really?
Oh, okay. You can have me fooled there for a minute.
I know, right? So your second question, Ben, is this. Who said, when I'm good, I'm very good, but when I'm bad, I'm better? A, Betty Davis. B, Dorothy Dandridge. C, Mae West. Would you like your 10 seconds or lifeline or...
No, I'm going to use my lifeline to this one.
Okay, cousin.
C. Mae West.
Yay!
So now, since you guys are old heads, y'all too, who was the one that said it's not the life in my man, but wait, it's not the man in my life, but the life in my man? Was that Mae West too? Did she say that?
That was her.
That was her. Cause I was
Yeah.
like, well, I was like that. I remember her saying, "It's not the man in my life, it's the life in my man." And I don't know why I'm doing my, but it seemed like that's how she did it. It's not the life. Well, anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, so that
Mae
was
West.
that was correct. Okay, so our last question for you, Ben, it's a true or false, and it says confetti originally consisted of seeds and nuts to represent fertility. Is that true or false? Want your 10 seconds?
Confetti. Say that again.
Confetti originally consisted of seeds and nuts to represent fertility. You want your 10 seconds? Why I look like you froze? Hello? Oh,
Oh, confetti. Yeah, give me my 10 seconds.
okay.
Ben is
I gotta
frozen.
think of.
He said give me.
I gotta think about it.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and your answer?
I'm gonna say that was false.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, that was true. And I'm thinking about that. I'm like, could you imagine them throwing seeds and nuts at you when you come in all in your hair and your headpiece? I'm just saying, but yes, it was actually true.
Somebody
So,
would have went to the hospital.
huh? What do you say?
So somebody would have went to the hospital.
Well, I mean, that was what they did, you know. So when you're coming down the aisle, this is now Mr. and Mrs. You know, they're throwing the confetti at you, and hopefully it was like litter seeds, like what are those litter ones?
Like sunflower seeds or something.
Yeah, something like that. Not not big one, you know. And
I like super seed.
huh? What happened?
I like super seed.
I missed that, and it's probably something I ain't want to know. So, okay, we're gonna move on from that. But
You know
so
what super?
what's what?
Super.
No, what's that?
You never reach to super?
Huh?
Super. Super got some big seeds.
That's the name of the fruit?
Yeah, super.
Oh. That must also have come out before my day, too. I'm just saying.
For your backside, and I see their house. Shoe super.
Wait, what? You say at my house?
Shoes. Yeah, shoe super.
My house here?
Yeah.
You lie. I don't know what that is. But I don't need no fertility seeds in my house anyway, so I'm just saying I'm past all of that. That's like years ago. So whatever it is, I don't need it. So I'm just saying. So anyway, what that means is that the ladies have won tonight. So we have now tied. Now next week we won't have a show because I actually will be traveling. It's spring break, and you know I haven't done anything with my kids because of COVID last year. So we're gonna be traveling, and we won't be here. So what that means is that now with you guys tying, in 2 weeks will be the last. Is that right? 2 weeks will be the last Sunday. So whoever wins the next show will take March. So, no pressure, but
Don't
I'm just
worry.
saying right now.
Don't worry. We have that locked up.
Now see,
Thank you.
this is a problem. I believe the word says, let him that thinks he is standing be careful lest he fall. I'm just saying there's such a thing with being overconfident. But we're going to see. Everybody gonna come with their A game. We're gonna see, but but right now we
It's
are.
not overconfidence. It's confidence, baby. It's confidence.
Thank you, Ben.
Straight up.
Let her know.
Now we gotta make sure that we come and we bust them up because see, we just need to do that. So we're gonna see you guys in 2 weeks, and we're gonna match up, and whoever wins will be the winner for the month of March. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Nan, for playing the game. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in 2
All right,
weeks.
see you in 2
Have a
weeks.
good week.
All right. Have a good week.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye. Hey, Naomi.
Hey, Naomi.
Hello.
How are
What's
you?
going on?
Good. I'm hanging in there.
Okay. All right.
I'm hanging in there.
I see
My
half of you. I don't know. Oh, no. It's just probably how the camera is over here. Yeah, I see you. So, yes. Good afternoon. Good evening. It's so funny because with daylight, it's light now because the days are now going to be longer. So, I'm looking at. Well, I guess it's kind of duskish, but usually by now it's pitch black outside. So I'm like, wow, it's still some daylight around here. So how have you been? You had a good week?
my week was good. I'm actually multitasking. My son is doing a Zoom call with his dad's family.
Right.
And,
So you were helping him
so,
set it up?
so I'm helping him set up, and it's actually on. I'm hosting it, so
Oh.
I still have it on, but I've muted it
Okay.
and cut it off so they could carry on.
Gotcha.
But so he
Okay.
got an uncle in Jamaica, and he got one in California, and they going back and forth, and both of them have heavy accents, and it's hilarious.
And are you able to understand what they're saying? Because sometimes,
yeah.
for the most part,
Oh, yeah.
I understand, but sometimes some of that stuff, I'm like, wait, what? And it was funny because I have,
Because you're not real. See, Naomi is real. You're not real.
anyway.
That's why you can't
What I
understand
was
it.
saying before cousin so rudely interrupted me
Right.
is that I have my contractor that does work for me is from Jamaica. So he and his brother were here because I had a leak that we had to find and fix. So they were here last week and they were talking and I was telling them how, certain things, we were talking about how certain things we say different in Belize or, in Jamaica. And so I was saying how, for the most part, the Creole I can understand as long as it's not too fast. But then we got the people that's back the bush, and I can't understand what they're saying. So they said they don't say back the bush, they say back a bush. So like the little,
We don't say back the bush neither.
I say back the bush. What do you say?
Like I said, you're not real.
Well, look,
You
I
said
was,
back the bush.
okay, so I was 7 when I came over here, so I did grow up over here. So perhaps some of the phraseology, but I say it the way I say it. So what you say, y'all say back a bush? What you say?
Back a bush.
Oh, so you probably could
That's what
understand
I've
what they were
always
saying.
heard, too.
Because I didn't understand what they were saying.
Back a bush, the way they always say no back the bush.
Well, I say back the bush, so. And you knew what I meant when I said it, didn't you? Did you know what I meant when I said it?
Really worry me.
Anyway, I digress because we should not be talking about. And first of all, I am real cousin, but I did grow up over here, so that's the difference.
Back a
You
fire grow.
you grew up there and came over here as an adult. I came over here as a 7-year-old. So some of the things, it is what it is. But I'm me, how I am, whether I speak with a slight Belizean accent or whether I don't. I am me. Radio host Lady P, get you out. You see I rhyme? Did y'all get it? Okay. Anyway, so the
When the
topic.
last time you been to Belize, cousin Howard?
Huh?
When the last time you been to Belize?
Ooh, when my grandmother died back in 91.
Wow, long time.
And he still talk like he back a bush, right? But
Long
that's because
time.
he. Whereas, but like I said, when I go, I'm there for like maybe half a week, and I come back and I may find certain things that I say that I know it's because I've been around my cousins and talking and things like that. So it takes like a little bit to lose the accent on certain things, but because I really grew up over here, I don't have it.
Yeah.
But that ties into relationship and culture as well, because I can be around my Trinidadian friends and I come back and talking and my family just laughs at me because I am straight Louisiana. There's not a bit of Caribbean in me, but let me be around them for a full weekend. And it kicks in and I come back and you don't even realize it.
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
just laughing. They're just laughing and laughing and laughing at me. And I'm like, what? I'm getting mad because I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
And you know, it's funny because they say that well, even though technically it's not a language, but they say like when you're learning a language, you know that you've got it when you think in that language. So a lot of people, because of this South Florida, a lot of people are of Spanish descent. And what happens is they don't realize they're doing it. So as they're talking and they're telling you something, they'll, in the middle of the sentence, they'll switch to Spanish and then they'll come back and not realize they did it. So it's kind of the same way like with the accent when you're around the people and then you come back and you're saying something and then you throw something in there. You don't realize that you did it because you were talking like that the whole weekend. So, you know, cousin, you know, he just talks the way he talks. He doesn't switch up. And you would think as long as he's been over here, he would have, you know, gotten some kind of American accent. I'm just saying. But, you know, maybe because he's not real. So anyway, I just had to throw that out there because, you know, you went there, cousin. You did.
Me.
So anyway, our topic, Naomi, cousin actually gave us this topic because when I remember last week when we were talking about the topic, he said he had so many. So I reached out to him, and this topic was actually his. So we're going to actually let him comment on it first. So the topic is this. Why do men or women say they want a good partner, but when they get one, do everything to push them away? Cousin?
Personally, I feel because a lot of people don't know what they want. And when they get it, they're so shocked that they got it, they can't believe they got it, and they like convince themselves that it's not going to last, that it's not real, that the next shoe is going to drop any day. And what they don't realize, like when you do that, and you push away a good man or a good woman, and then you end up by yourself, you be like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. But you did. And a lot of people, when they meet somebody that they really check for, and all that person want to do is just keep throwing up walls and blocks and all of that, you get tired. You know how many people I talk with every day that has happened to? You know, and then they find out that we got this show and we do the life coach thing, and they like, well, what do I do? I'm like, man, I don't have the answer because I can't think for nobody else. I can only think for me. You know, it's not something that I would do. Back in the day, yes, I did stuff like that. That, you know, you find somebody decent and, you know, you always feel like the next shoe is going to drop any day. And you protect yourself. You put a wall around your heart because you don't want to get hurt. And that's the wrong way to go through life. You got to realize, know who you got, know who you met, and figure out real quick, fast, and in a hurry if it's somebody that you want to keep getting to know or somebody you want to throw away. But you can't throw them away today and realize, man, he was a good man or she was a good woman, because most people ain't going to, they're going to tell you, I'm not a crab, I don't walk backwards. Okay? Only crab walk backwards, human don't. Some will come back to you, maybe, you know, old folks back home, and even back home in Cali, they say if it's for you, it'll come back. If it's not for you, it never will. But how do you know? And some people realize that too late. And when they realize that it's too late, that person is long gone. And then they start chasing a ghost because they want that person back. But that person done met somebody else and starting a life with that other person. And then they ticked off because, you know, they listen to their friends or their family and all of that crap. And that person, you know, misery love company. So if you're looking to be happy and you got a friend, especially a best friend, that is not happy, that best friend going to do everything to poison your mind, not to deal with Mary Jane or John Doe. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong. Please God, let me be wrong, but I've seen it happen way too many times. Ladies?
Okay. Naomi, I'm gonna go next and then let you finish us up. So my thought when I saw the topic is that they didn't take the time to heal from prior things that happened before they got into a relationship. And because of that, that would be why they they would do that, because they haven't allowed themselves time to heal from past hurts and disappointments and situations that happen. So because of that, when they get into the new relationship and it seems like it's so great, they're waiting for the other shoe to fall. Like, this can't be like this because I know this is what has always happened to me. Maybe they have a pattern that has always happened to them. So I think that would be why they would end up pushing the good partner away, because maybe they don't trust that they're all they say that they are, just because of the past hurts and not taking the time to look at what happened, look at lessons learned, and really delve into where they are. Because a lot of times people, when they come out of a relationship, they're like, maybe if it was long term, they just can't wait to get into the next one because they don't want to be by themselves, and they don't take the time to heal. It's been, I want to say there was a guy, I don't even remember because now I done finished with all that foolishness, but there was a guy that I met, and I just had a conversation with him, and in the conversation he was telling me all this stuff about his ex, and and when I just let him talk, and I said, I would suggest that you take some time to get over this. I said, because you're trying to, maybe you found out that the person that you were seeing, that you've now broken up with, that there was someone else, so you're ready to jump into a relationship too, so you're not by yourself, but you're not ready. So I think the reason a lot of people do that, and it's not like they're consciously trying to push them away, but it's because all the things that have happened in the past, that shapes us. And if we don't really take the time to look at what happened, look at how the whole situation went down, look at lessons learned, then we end up repeating the pattern over and over again. And when someone comes that's not part of the pattern, like this one isn't like all the other ones, because of the pattern that has happened, you're expecting it, and you don't want to get too happy because you don't want to be disappointed, you don't want to be hurt again. So it's like a defense mechanism, I think. That would be why. And like I said, my thought on that is that they should try. People won't do this a lot, but they should really try to take the time to kind of make sure that they're fully over the past relationship, so that they can truly move on and not, end up doing this. Naomi, your thoughts?
Okay, not to repeat the same thing. I agree with what you said, and I also agree with what Cousin Howard said. So I echo both of those and just add another layer as well, as a lot of times we say what we want, but we don't know how it's going to look. Right. So it comes to us and we don't even know, oh, that's it. That's what I've been asking for. That's what I find out when I talk to people about relationships, in addition to what you two have already said. So be it the not healing from before, or allowing past hurts to cloud what's going on now, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But also, I want this, but I don't know what it looks like when I have it. So I don't appreciate it for what it is, because it's supposed to look the way I envisioned it.
Right.
And because it doesn't look the way I envisioned it, this must not be it. And so just being open to what that means, a lot of times you say what you want, and you say what you want it to look like, but it'll come across and it's not going to look the way. I had a client, and that was the thing. She prayed, and we we had to have serious discussion about, you know what? You have what you prayed for. She was like, yeah, but he was supposed to be such and such and such. I say, you have what you prayed for. You have what you asked for. And once she started really putting that, looking at things from that perspective, it turned the relationship around. The relationship wasn't doomed, but the relationship wasn't as good as it could be.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah. So I just want to add that other element to it.
Hmm. And it's funny because I've been on TikTok a lot lately because, being bored in the house and in the house bored. But there was this one thing where the lady was like, God, I know I said I asked you for him, but he 5'3" though.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, so I'm like, okay, so to me that lesson is we need to be a little bit more specific. He need to be like at least this much taller than me,
No.
whatever. But
No. But you can't.
and I'm saying that
you
jokingly.
cannot do that.
I said
No, I know. But you got people out there that would honestly do that. God, I want him to be 6'3", lean, mean, a lot of muscles, and got a 6-figure job. You know what? If a guy got a 6-figure job, he's not looking at no woman with a 4-figure job.
How you know
Because
he might be?
No, unless he's looking for a project.
Well,
So hold
it's
up.
also about when you put God in it. And it's also about when you put God in it. When you tell God stuff like, give me the perfect person for me, the person that makes me, then God's going to send you that perfect person. In your mind, you're thinking that perfect person is 6 feet. But the person he sends is 5'3", like you say. The person he sends is 5'3". So
But
when
that
you put
person
God
is-
in it, you got to let go of all those controls. When you start asking the God and say, send me the person that's best for me, I've been through a lot. I need someone that's going to, either take care of me. I need someone that's going to listen to me, or I need someone that's going to be there for me. And you got in your mind what that person is going to look like. But you asking God to send that to you. And so that's a totally different thing. And that's one big thing we got to remember when we get on our knees and start praying and asking God to intervene. Then we got to let it go and let him do what he says and what he thinks is
Exactly.
best for us.
Because
And,
he's
and
not going to
because of
send
his
you.
sense of humor, some of the stuff that he come up with is not what we were expecting. I remember a few years ago, I was talking to a young lady, and I was saying, what I want. I had like my list and everything, and she said, well, and on my list I didn't specify race, and I'm like, but I have to because, and I know that it's. So she's like, well, what if he send you someone Asian? I'm like, I just feel like he would send me someone that could relate to me on things that, we go through as a race. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh no. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to say, God, it's your will, but you know me, God, and you know what, as we talking about your will, your ordained will, not your permissive will, because you tired of me asking. But could we just, he ain't even got to be 6'3". He could be, like 5'11", 5'11" and a half. But
People
so.
that say they 5'11" and a half, they're actually 2 inches or 3 inches.
Oh
short.
my God! Let me tell you something. Short story. My last relationship, when I met him, and like I said, I found out that I'm vertically challenged. I always thought I was 5'5" and a quarter, and when he's 15 now, but I think when he turned 13, he was taller than me. And we went to the pediatrician, and they said he was 5'5" and a quarter. I'm like, but wait, I've been 5'5" and a quarter now. And granted, with my 5'5" and a quarter, I rolled it up to 5'5" and a half, then I rolled it up to 5'6". So when he hit 5'5" and a quarter, and he was taller than me, I'm like, oh no. And then I found out I was only 5'4" and a half. So I didn't know that's
He's
how.
5'2".
No, I'm 5'4" and a half, but I'm saying I've always claimed 5'6", even thinking that was like a little taller than my 5'5" and a quarter, and to find out I'm not even 5'5". So the last person I was in a relationship with, when I met him, we were just talking about height. I said, yeah, I'm 5'6", and he said, yeah, I'm 6 foot. I'm like, oh, okay. So one day we were going somewhere, and I never wear heels, But I have these one set of heels. They're probably like maybe 3 inch, but they're platforms, so they're comfortable. And I had them on, and I'm looking. I'm like, how tall are you? Because at that point, I was like taller than him or about his height. And I'm like, you said you 6 foot. And I'm trying to, so I'm like, So he went, so like time went on and he went for his physical or something. He came back, he did me like this, Naomi. He said, baby, I'm shrinking. I said, what happened? He said, I went to the doctor and they said I was only 5'7" and a half. Now, you knew you was 5'7" and a half when you told me you was 6 foot. And if I had really been 5'6" like I thought I was, I would have known that you wasn't no 6 foot. It's just because I was shorter than I thought. And I knew you were taller than me. But I was like, but I don't think he as tall as he's saying. 5'7", you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, that was like that wasn't even like an inch or two. That was 5 inches. Talking about he's shrinking. I'm just saying.
People that add that half inch onto their height.
That's what I was thought.
2 to 3 inches shorter than they're saying.
Well,
I'm serious shrinking going on there.
He was 5 inches short. Because I said, he can't be 6 foot. I said, so how tall you said you? He said, 5'11", 6 foot. I was like, And then he came back with that, I'm shrinking. I'm like, now you know good and dang on well you knew how tall you was, your line behind. So, and I know we went way off topic, but yeah, so in that, we have to understand that what we're asking for may not come in the package that we think, because we in our mind have a preconceived notion of what the package would look like, and because it doesn't come in the package and we think it's not it, that may also be a reason that we like push them away, because that can't be who, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like seek God's face and ask him, God, give me a sign, do that, get in, fleece wet, fleece dry, let me know for sure. So I know, because we also know that they said the enemy walks around like an angel of light seeking to deceive someone. So it also could be he heard us asking for this one, so he sent one that looked like what we think in our mind, and that's not the, so it's just discernment, but then too, taking the time before that to see, what is it that I really want? What is it that's really going to be the one that's going to be the one for me? Not just, certain things, the deeper things, someone that can connect with me on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, all of those things. Not someone that got the looks, because looks fade. We're fortunate being people of color that we age well, and, other nationalities or races rather don't do that. But outside of that, it has to be more than that. Even like for the men, because men are more visual. But it has to be more than that, because, as you get older, things change. So just, doing all the things that we suggested, because I done went so far off topic, I can't even bring us back together. So,
well, I think it's also just in closing out of this topic to realize as well that when you're that person, when you're asking, we always ask for what we want in the person, but we need to make sure the person we're asking for wants what we have to give. So a lot of times we get the person that we want, but it's not the person that wants us.
Got you.
And that's a big part of it too, because I know that's one of the things I say. Not only do I want this kind of a man, but this is how I want to feel when I'm with this kind of a man, because he loves me this way, or because he's looking for someone with my qualities, or he's looking for someone to grow with, or he's looking for someone to bring him to bring to the level that he's grown to. Versus saying, I want someone that I have to grow, or I want someone where we're starting from the bottom together. And that goes back to you being specific with God as to what you want, so that you can embrace it when it comes to you.
Right.
Because not everything we wants us.
True.
That is true.
True.
I did have a client that I would say, I want someone that this and I want someone that that. And I told her, I said, when you look around and you see that type of man, is he walking around with a woman like you? You know, just be honest with yourself. Is he walking around with a woman like you? And if not, are you willing to become that woman, to pour from what you have inside you, to become that woman to attract that type of man?
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Definitely.
Joke. I can say that. It's not a joke.
No, it's not.
No, it's dead serious, and I feel you on that. And like I said, I run into people that will jump in the truck and, some of them raising Cain, and I was like, I just sit and smile to myself, like, you want this type of woman. You want a woman that stepped out of a magazine, so to speak. But does that type of woman want you? But you got some people that you can't tell that to because they're going to look at you like you got 10 heads.
But that's why I was a client. You're right. You can't say that to just anybody.
Right.
That was a client that I was having that conversation with.
Because you say that to your friend,
they have to be open to hear it. That's right. They have to be open to hear it. But Cousin Howard, you was talking about your people. How many fans did you get this week? How many new fans? How many new Cousin Howard fans did you get?
And look, before we went live, I was playing a song that I dedicated to Cousin Howard, the one "Booed Up" by Ella May. And I was telling everybody, if they trying to get booed up with Cousin Howard, just reach out to me, radio host ladyp@gmail.com, and I'll get you introduced to him. I'm just saying, he trying to be booed up, so he's still single. So anybody interested in being booed up, just reach out to me. I'll get the introduction going and stuff. I'm trying to help my cousin out.
Please don't.
Oh, geez. Okay, so let's go into our letter. So our letter is actually from a man this week. So the letter goes like this. Dear Lady P, I've been dating this young lady for a couple of years. She seems to prefer alone time together rather than group outings. It seems like we have had communication problems from the start. Usually her not calling or texting me back when she is with family or at work. We spent a really good day a few weeks ago. Later that night I texted a few times and got no response. So I called quite a few times. To that she finally responded via text, I'm tired and don't care if that bothers you. I will call you later. I am with family. So I waited and she didn't call. Several hours I called and no answer. So I sent a few petty messages and then finally I'm gone and went to sleep. She called several times while I was sleeping, leaving messages that I need to be more reasonable and she will take more care next time. The problem is that this is a pattern. I have to go off to get a response. We definitely have a communication problem. How do we deal with that? Please help. Signed, Call Me Back.
You don't want me to respond.
Oh, so you're saying you don't want to go first? Is that
No.
what you're saying? Okay, so I'll go first.
No.
I'll go first. So, a couple things stood out to me. Right now, it seems like you guys have gotten into a pattern of behavior, which is not a good pattern, because you're going through when stuff gets to this stage, which, as you said, it's a pattern. You go with, I'm done. That's it. I'm gone. And then she's like, no, just be more reasonable and it'll get better. And then it goes right back to the same thing over and over again. To me, it seems like it's a situation where I don't know that communication, maybe proper communication would help, because the way you guys are communicating now is not working. Number one, if you had a good day, I guess, and as we talk about our thoughts on these letters, I guess it's coming from different things that we've gone through or seen. But to me, if you spent a good day together and, you know, you text after, maybe at the end of the day, maybe she didn't tell you she was hanging out with her family, but maybe she did. And it's like, if she's with her family, why are you blowing up her phone? You just saw her. What is the reason that now, after you spent this day together, that you feel the need to text and text and text and text, and then, you know, calling a few times, and then by now you done got her upset. So she's like, look, I'm tired, you know. And, you know, that's the thing. You know, it's kind of like consideration. You guys probably have to have the talk about boundaries and, you know, what the expectation is, rather than going through this pattern, because the pattern is, okay, I need to be more reasonable. She'll take more care. But how does that look? What does that look like? Because if you're having this happen over and over again, you have not gone past this statement to say, okay, what does being more reasonable look like? What does taking more care look like? And manage the expectations of one another. No, you shouldn't have to go off to get a response. You need to come to the point where you can have proper communication, where you're both listening and talking, and that you can understand, you know, what she's about, you know, why she prefers alone time, why she doesn't like group outings, why it is that, what does it say, you've been dating a couple years, why it is that when she's with her family that she doesn't respond. Maybe something happened with the family and they don't like you, so she's not going to respond because they're, you know, I don't know. But either way, regardless of what it is, you know, the communication, you know, you guys need to have a clear understanding of what to her you're being reasonable is, because to just say it doesn't say. And for you, when she says she's going to take more care, what does that look like to you? And see if it's something that you want to do or you can do. You know, 2 years, you should know one another by now. So this stuff shouldn't continue to happen after, you know, it'd be, if it was a few months or, you know, you're just getting to know each other. But if you've been together for a couple of years, then, you know, there needs to be some clear communication on what those things look like to prevent this kind of stuff happening over and over again. Just my thoughts. Naomi, tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so when I saw this, I said, okay, so he's been dating her for a couple of years, and he says she seems to prefer alone time together rather than group outings. So that's the first. I think that's the first thing we need to deal with, is the fact that you want to be with me alone, but I'm not with you at your family and group events. I mean, that's what I'm reading into this.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
number one.
Okay.
She seems to prefer alone time together rather than group outings. So when you're at that group outing and I'm calling you, it's like, okay, what's going on? Why can't I reach you? Why can't I reach you when I'm trying to do that? Why can't I reach you when you're with family? So regardless of anything, I have a need to be able to reach you, and that's what we need to discuss. I have a need to be able to reach you, but you have a need to be left alone when you're not with me.
Okay.
And the fact that I'm trying to connect with you when you're not with me sends us both into this tizzy phase where you're saying, you know what, I'm tired, leave me alone, I'm with family. You're tired of what? What are you tired of? And I think I'm saying that is the communication that needs to happen. What is it that you're tired of? I'm tired. You know, leave me alone, I'm with family. You don't care. I don't care what bothers you. But that whole thing, it doesn't solve anything. It aggravates the situation. When you respond to a man saying, I'm tired, I don't care if it bothers you, that's, or even if you was to do that, if a woman heard that response, that's a trigger response right there. So then he got an attitude, and so when she did call, it's like, I ain't got time for you. You don't run me like that. So yeah, there needs to be an understanding going back to why is the only time that I can be with you is when we're alone. You don't seem to like me with you in a group, be it family or whatever else. And I think that's the discussion that needs to happen.
Maybe he 5'3" and she don't want him around her people because he 5'3" and she 5'10".
Exactly. So she says she called several times saying that she would be she would take more care next time. And so those are the conversations that need to happen. What does more care mean? Because it's a pattern and it's happening over and over again. You said you would take care next time and you didn't. But no, what does take care look like? Because maybe to him, take care means, you know what, next time you go with your family, you invite me.
Exactly.
And to her, take care maybe next time I might answer the phone when you call. And I think they just need to get to the real root of what the problem is with and it may not even be a problem, but what the situation is with your relationship. You're the person that I love when it's me and you. And if that's the kind of relationship we have, then that's the conversation you need to have about, is that acceptable? So that you're not going off the handle when you can't reach her when she's quote unquote with family.
Right.
And that's when I read it, that's what I saw.
Okay. Cousin?
I'm with Naomi on that, because when I read this letter, I don't know, it's like it brought all kind of what is to me. Why you only want to be alone with me? Why can't, if we just started dating, then fine. But for 2 years, and you can go with your family and your friends and your co-workers where everybody else is quote with or without somebody, and then you don't answer me, that to me, that's saying somebody else is in the picture. Right? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it seems like to me from a man point of view. Right? Because she playing him, because why can't we hang out with your friends? Why can't all right, you call me up, baby, I'm at happy hour at 123 ABC Street, why don't you come meet us? I'm not saying to do that every single week or every single time, but, you cannot just deal past somebody that you claim you love, that you claim you want to be with.
But hold up, cuz it doesn't say that he said he's been dating her. It doesn't say that it's been anything about love and I want to be with you. You know what I'm saying?
For 2 years, and he can't figure out that, then she's not into him the way he's into her.
Well, it could be that, or it could be because, see, he's writing the letter. We don't know what the whole story, right? We know his side of the story. So it could have been that something happened when the last time she was in a group with him. I don't know. And it could have been, and because
of that. Well, for 2 years? That don't make no sense.
No, it could have been that something happened with them, and which is something we always encourage not to do. If you get into something with your dude or your girl, do not bring your family into it, because when you forgive them, your family won't. And it could be something like that. So now, because of whatever happened, she really doesn't bring. I'm just saying, and because we don't know, because I'm suppositioning, but it could be that something happened. It says we've had communication problems from the start. So I guess for 2 years, her not calling me or texting me back when she's with family or at work. Well, if she's at work, maybe she can't call you or text you back. Are you someone that's sitting there with nothing to do and just blowing her phone up, which is really annoying?
That is annoying. I hate people do that to me. But if you with somebody, if you dating somebody for a couple of weeks, yeah, I understand you blow them off. Man, I ain't got time for you. See? But if you've been dating this person, not off and on, for 2 years, 24 months, 700 and something days, and you can't call that person, and when you do text back, you text back something mean like that? No, you can't do that to somebody.
But do you see what he said he did before she because it says she finally responded via text. So it said that night he texted a few times. He don't say if it was 10, 20 times. He said he texted a few times, got no response. So then he called a few times. So he texted her a few times, let's say 10, 12. She didn't answer. So then he starts calling her and blowing her phone up. And so then she's like, finally, like, look, check this out. I'm tired. I don't care. If that bothers you, I'm going to call you later. I'm with my family. Because chances are, if they spent the day together, let's say they spent the day together, it was a wonderful day, and she said, okay, babe, I'm about to go. I'm going to be with my family. We got this gathering at so-and-so house. I'll call you when I get home. That's the last thing they said. So she gets to so-and-so. She's hanging out with her family, and he blowing her phone up. And if he's texting her, what is he saying? Why are you not picking up the phone? I'm tired of every time with your family. You're not picking up the phone. But, all the kind of stuff that people text because they just be falling and bumping their head. So by the time she finally responded, because you done blew her phone up, everybody like, dang, who calling you like that? And you like, well, I told him I was going to be with my family. I'm going to call him back. It's fine. Because maybe she did one of those, can I call you later? And he just like, you know what? So he gets to texting stupidity because now he mad. So by the time she get sick of them, because he said he texts a few times. I'm just saying.
Okay, Lady P. I think you're painting a different picture here.
No, but because he's trying to say from the letter. I'm just going, well, but what if that was what was going on? We don't know that.
She comes back and she says that she needs to be more reasonable and she will take more care next time.
So he needs to be more reasonable. But
no,
because
she's saying, she called several times while I was sleeping, and she left. Oh.
Yeah, she said that he needs to be more reasonable, and she'll take more care next time.
And she will take more.
So I just took that to mean he was not being reasonable. He was probably blowing her phone up. And when they had the nice day, she was like, okay, this was so much fun. I'm going to hang out with my family. We doing the barbecue, the spades, all this stuff. And you blowing her phone up. Then when she's not answering, you start sending stupid because he said he texted a few times with no response. So who knows what kind of foolishness he was saying. You probably with some dude that,
It didn't have to be foolish. I'm going to put that back because we don't know the age group of these people, and it didn't have to be foolish. But it could have just gotten on her nerves, which I'm going to be honest, she could have taken care of with one quick answer.
Exactly.
Because you don't know if he thought something was wrong. We don't know. You're right. We don't know a lot of things. We don't know if he thought something was wrong. Did she make that? He said
and
no
answer. She doesn't know if something was wrong with him.
No answer.
He could have been in trouble, and that's why.
Okay, so here's the thing: if we were out, and at the end of our outing, I said, "Hey, I'm going by so and so. You know I'm over there. You call and I don't pick up. Then you text. No. Listen, cousin, please. Let me
say something. You don't know if she said that when they left from their date that day.
No, I don't.
You don't know. So by him texting, maybe let's argument's sake, maybe she was supposed to call when she got home and say, hey, honey, I made it home, whatever she called him, baby, honey, fool, annoyance, whatever, I made it home. I will call you later. Now, if she had said that and he didn't mention that, then yes, he was being petty. But if she didn't say that, and when they finished their date, she's like, well, hit me up later. Later, for some people take that word later to mean 5 minutes after I see you. That's later. Some people look at it later could be tomorrow. See? We don't know what was said at the end of the date.
We don't even know that she said that she was going. That she told him that she was going to spend time with her family afterwards. He just said we had a great day, and later on he texted her and got no response.
So we don't know what.
That's what I'm looking at, because I can have a good day with somebody. I can sit back and think about it and bask in it, and then I do a little text.
Right. But then, okay, so he said later that night he texted a few times. So we all know he's more than once and got no response. Now, for me, even if I had people over here, my phone is in my room on the charger, right? And because I don't walk around with my phone on my hip. I don't. So it could very well not be with me for me to even see the text messages that you text me a few times. Then, like, you calling and you blowing up my phone, but I still may not have my phone with me. Sometimes when I go over my sister's, my phone is in my purse because I'm over there hanging out. I don't walk, I don't keep my phone in my hand because I'm there to hang out with my family. I'm not like tied to my phone. So, if you texted, you didn't get a response. You called a few times, and then now when she finally get to her phone, she see that she got 20 missed calls, 30 messages, and she's like, are you serious right now? So then she responds, listen, I'm tired. I don't care if that bothers you right now. I'm going to call you later. I'm with my family. Because now I just thought that why are you blowing my phone up like that, dude? And if it was an emergency and you said, hey, I'm trying to reach you because so and so and so. Okay, but if you just like, hey, where you at? Where you at? What you doing? What you doing? I can't find, what? Leave me alone, dude. I'm just saying. And like I said, this is how I would take it. Because number one, if I'm dating someone and we hung out and I call them and they didn't answer, I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, may wait a little while and text, hey, I called you. I don't know if you missed my call. This is what I was calling for. And I leave it at that. If I don't hear, whatever. I'm not going to just keep texting it. And he said he texted a few times first. Then he called a few times. Did you leave a message? Did you say why you're calling? Because then some people will call you, hey, give me a call. Why? What? What's up? You don't it's not an emergency. You just want me to call you. I'm not going to call and be on the phone. I'm with my family. And then when he said he did it when she's at work, if she's at work, she may not be able to respond. So she said she has a problem texting me back when she's with family or at work. Not calling me back when she's at work. So, to me, when I read it, I just felt like he was high maintenance. And they need to have that communication so that so she can understand what he needs and see if she feels like fulfilling that, and he can understand what she needs and if he feels like doing that and kind of not being so high maintenance. And if so, then they go forward, because after 2 years, you should know certain things and you should know what aggravates people. You should know. So if you know that doing this is going to push her buttons and you're going to make her mad and she's going to come back with this, because sometimes they'll do that just to get a response.
We don't know if she works at the strip club. I'm just saying.
And I can't call, it's my turn up on stage.
They can't call me because what?
They call me on stage now. Come on now.
Maybe she didn't tell him that she's a stripper.
But I'm saying, and one of our listeners,
think the conversation around them around him just being around her, if that's the case from that opening, I think she likes to be with me alone, just the two of us versus in groups. So that's going to have him wondering what's going on. If I can't come into your world, the part of your world I can be in is when you and I are together locked up somewhere.
But you know what? It's funny though, because when I look at this,
if that is the case,
a lot of times it's almost like the script is flipped, because a lot of times it's guys who do this. They'll go with you somewhere by yourself, but then they off with So it's kind of like a script flip. But someone in our comments said that it's about trust, and yeah, because maybe by the time she got her phone and saw all the messages and all the missed calls, and who knows what the voicemails, what he said. Because, sometimes, and Cousin can attest to that, sometimes when, somebody got you upset and you start thinking things, you will text something that you know good and well you shouldn't have said. Sometimes you need to just put the phone down and walk away from it and just be mad, go work out, go watch a movie, just turn the phone off, so that if you feel tempted to send a text, because you can't take it back. So, there is a lack of trust, and maybe the lack of trust is that, he feels that she's not really where she says she is. And so that needs to be addressed as well, because...
that is true. Bottom line.
Again, I still think it all goes back to, you're not letting me in a part of your world. So I'm going to, when I can't reach you and you're in that part, I can't say, okay, I know this is what she's doing. And like it or not, men like to know. Men like to know what's going on with their woman,
But
you
they
know,
don't
like
want,
or not.
but it's a double standard. And that's why I
Well,
thought this
because
letter was
women-
interesting
Not, it's
Women are
because
debatable. It's just fact.
I thought it was interesting because this is what a young lady would more like go through, where dude, oh, I'm just with my boys, I'm hanging out with my boys, and so now it's the script is flipped, right? She wants to just do alone time, and maybe so yeah, there's a trust issue. There needs to be communication on what their expectations are of one another and what they can do to meet those expectations. Because, yeah, after 2 years, you've been together quite some time, this discussion should have been had a long time ago rather than this pattern. Because all it is a pattern, and it's going to continue repeating itself. Because if you keep doing the same thing and reacting the same way, you're going to get the same results. So,
I think he's saying it's 2 years. You ain't got that many cousins. Where you at?
right. I'm with my cousin. It's a whole. My mom and dad had a whole bunch of kids, and they sisters, and they all had a whole bunch of kids because they was in Belize, back the bush, and they had nothing else to do but have kids.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, so that.
Yeah, because you gotta, if you dating someone for that long, you would hope that you got a better communication than that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, what happens in dating because of not good communication skills, what some couples tend to do is put things under the rug, right? Sweep things under the rug. And all of a sudden, when you look, you have a mountain under this rug. And, it has to be dealt with because then you fall into these patterns which are not healthy for any relationship. And, yeah, if someone now is feeling like they have to blow up your phone, now they feel they're not able to trust you. And you don't want that because what relationship can there be when one doesn't trust the other? And, you don't want to be the one that's mistrusted, and every time you turn around, where you at? I know you with some guy. I know, nobody want to hear that. And who knows what he texts with, because now he mad and he don't know and she ain't answering the phone, and probably text all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, that's why every time, what's his name? Yeah, some foolishness like that because now he's feeling very insecure because this has been a pattern for 2 years. So yeah, that's enough to kind of really make you feel something. And then especially if he only 5'3", I'm just saying, and she 5'8", 5'9", and then every time they go somewhere alone, everybody looking at him. So he know everybody want her, and he, he's sitting on the bed, his legs dangling over, ain't touching the floor. I'm just saying, and texting her and calling her, and she ain't answering. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I mean, but all jokes aside, it does come down to communication, and it comes down to talking about what I need out of this relationship, and if I'm not getting it, and what you need out of the relationship, and if you're not getting it, then either we work towards what we, what is our common goal? What are we doing with this? It's been 2 years, so by now it should be some kind of.
You go that way and I go that way, and if we happen to meet years down the road, then we play the same song again. But until then, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Why you gotta be all like that? I'm not encouraging you, young man, to break up with the lady. I'm encouraging you
Man, she
to
done
have.
broke up with him. He just don't realize it yet. Because anybody, and I don't care who it is, if you dating someone for that long, you in your mind, you're in a relationship with that person. Guaranteed. I don't care what you want to say. You're in a relationship. See? No, when
If you ain't asked me to go with you, if you didn't ask me to go with you, we don't go together. We not in a relationship. I don't care how long it is. Till you say, hey, will you be my woman? Will you be my girlfriend? Will you go with me? We not in a relationship. I don't care. It could be 2 years. I'm just saying. And maybe that's why she won't bring him around her family, because he didn't ask her to go with him. And they not a couple. They just dating. Because he didn't say that, you know, my girlfriend and I have been together for a couple years. He said, I've been dating this young lady. So I'm just saying. If you ain't asked me to go with you and send me that note, do you like me? Yes, no, check one. If you ain't do all that, we don't go together. I'm not your woman. I'm just saying. But, you know, just really communication to make sure that they're on the same page, because they obviously...
She brought dude on the show for us to interrogate. That's
What?
why she's single.
What happened? Wait, what did... I did... First of all, let's just back up, cousin. I did not bring that guy on the show for you guys to interrogate. The guy had said he liked me.
On our own.
The guy had liked me, and when he was talking to me, I just knew when he was telling me his views that me and him weren't going to work. So I kind of like pushed him into a friend zone, and then he wanted to come on the show anyway. So I was like, okay, sure, come on. And then he came, and Jamin and Naomi just made him feel like this big polar thing. So that's what had happened. But it wasn't like it was someone that I wasn't dating him. We had conversation. Like I said, conversation and dating are two different things. I was not dating him. We had some conversation.
Why did you have us check him out?
Well, no, by then I already knew it wasn't going to work. He just wanted to come on the show. I had already pushed him into the friend zone. So when he came with that foolishness talking about you got to go to another country to find a woman because the women over here are too, what did he say? They too, what was the word he used?
Bougie?
No. Something where they didn't cater to,
That's not the word he used.
Like they
It was
didn't
more
cater
like
to the man
aggressive.
or something. They're not submissive or something. And when he said
Yeah.
that, I was like, ooh, well, I know that me and you not going, you know, I mean, so I already knew that. So I had already kind of pushed him towards, we doing the friend thing because nothing else going to come of this. And then he wanted to come on the show. So I was like, okay, come on. You can come and talk about your views. It's a relationship show. So it really wasn't, we were joking about the fact that y'all were, I don't need y'all to vet nobody. I already know whether what they are about is anything that's gonna, yeah, Lady Max, he definitely belonged in the friend zone. And that's where I put him to. Submissive to what? First of all, okay, I have no problem with submission in the marital arrangement, in that the husband loves his wife as the Christ loved the church, and then the wives are to be in subjection to him. And okay, that's one thing. But now you coming and talking to me, I don't even know you, and you talking about why you're going to another country to get women because they're more submissive to their man. So what are you saying? So you mean like the mail order bride where they come and they see that wouldn't so it wasn't going to work anyway. But now we just came off the letter, so let's come back off of me and let's get back to the letter. Let's bring it back now. And so yeah, with this couple and this young man who wrote it, you guys really need to talk about expectations and see whether or not you can meet the expectations of one another. Because maybe what she's expecting you can do, but she can't do what you're expecting. And if so, you have to know, who did that song? Was it Kenny Rogers? You gotta know when to hold them.
Know when to hold?
Know when to fold them. So you have to know once you have this conversation, if you guys are really on the same page, because, it's something that's gone on for 2 years. So and you've never had that conversation, and you can't assume because you know what's always said about assuming anything. And I think that's probably why you guys have found yourself in this pattern of, you know, the same thing over and over again. And I know because my last relationship, it wasn't this type of pattern, but we had fallen into a pattern over and over again. And, you know, it doesn't, you know, unless you do something different, it's not going to change. So my suggestion to you, sir, is to have a conversation, and a conversation where you practice active listening, as does she. Maybe come with your little notebook so you can write down everything she says, and you can write down what you said so that you guys make sure that you're clear on what you're saying. And if the decision is, you know, I can't be that for you, I can't do that for you, you know, that's not me. This is the type of person I am. And, you know, a lot of times what we've been through makes us the way we are. And maybe she's been through some things that's made her the way she is. And maybe she's not willing to do that. But you won't know till you talk about it. And then at that point, you'd be in a better frame to, I guess, make a decision on what it is you need to do. So that's my final thought. Any other final thoughts without going off topic, cousin?
They need to communicate, and he needs to have an open mind that, you know, whether she's really truly in love with him or whether she just got him in the friend zone that he's cool to hang with, go sit down and have lunch with somewhere in the dark, and be open and ready to accept whatever it is that she says with no harm, no foul. You know, because right now all he's doing is stressing himself, and that's not healthy
He's
for him.
He's stressing her too.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, just openly ask her, look, either you like me or you don't like me. If you just want to be friends, let me know. If you don't want to be friends, let me know. But the buck stops here.
Well, and,
You know,
and
so
like I
sit
said,
down.
it is just to really, really have that conversation, because unfortunately, people do not do well with being honest. And
That is true.
usually, and that's why I said this letter is kind of flipped, because usually it's the men that don't want to let go of something just in case something that, you know, like they always have to have their backup plan. So maybe he's her backup, and that's why she keeps him around.
We
You know,
got some
I don't
women
know,
like that too.
but that's what I'm saying. So unfortunately, there are people that even in having a conversation will not really be honest about what they truly want, what they truly need, or whether or not they can meet your expectations and your needs. So in this conversation, just really probe, and then, you know, I would say really pray before you talk. Have God's direction, ask for his wisdom so that you can really see, you know, is the conversation netting the truth or not, you know. And then at that point, maybe because of how your pattern has, maybe it's just aggravated her and she just, you know, whatever. But as you talk and you explain your expectations, maybe it will give her a different look at it differently, maybe put herself in your shoes, because a lot of times things can be resolved so much by putting yourself in someone else's shoes, right? You can, it helps, because then if you start seeing things the way they do, then you see how your actions make them feel, then maybe it would make you not act a certain way, you know. So just that type of communication is open and raw and honest, to now know where you stand, what are you going to do going forward. And then now understanding that because sometimes people are not truthful, that if after the conversation happens, you find yourself back in the same pattern, then that means that it went in one ear and went out the next, then you still have a decision to make. So that's my thought. Naomi?
I'm going to go back to the exact words that the writer used, and it was around She'd rather be alone with me. Only wants to be with me alone. And then you come back and you say, I know when I'm trying to text her and can't reach her, it normally means that she's with her family or she's at work. And I just think that's the conversation you guys need to have, because that seems to be what the heat is about. And so for the writer, why is it so important, or is it so important that you be able to have a connection with her outside of just the two of you being together? And there's no wrong or right answer, but just being vulnerable enough to have that conversation versus being controlling about the fact that you don't have that going on for you right now.
Gotcha.
Controlling. I this is what I need, and you're not giving it to me, and this is how I'm going to act. So when you call back, I don't have anything to say to you because you didn't give me what I wanted, which was a reply back when I was texting you. But you've already said, when she doesn't reply back, it means she's with her family or with her coworkers.
Right.
So I just really think taking it back to that, and that may open the door to the other stuff, but lead with the issue at hand.
Gotcha.
And that's the important thing. Lead with the issue at hand so that you can get to the bottom of it. Otherwise, all this other stuff is going to come up, and you're going to still leave unresolved from the very thing that you wrote us about.
Gotcha.
So that's my input to it.
Okay. So, letter writer, I'm hoping that in the different feedback that we've given you, we have given you something to start with so you can try to get your relationship on track and, see what the root issue of the problem is and get it resolved. Because really at this point, that's what you want. Yes, it's signed Call Me Back. But I think you want more than her just to call you back. It's a little bit more to it. So, that conversation that you have will determine whether you'll get that or not, and then you have to decide accordingly. But we wish you all the best. And, we hope that, the conversation goes well and it works out well for you. So, on that note, we have gone, oh, Lord, we went okay, we've gone a little bit over. I'm just looking at the time. And
we went way over.
But that was because, we kind of brought my whole situationships in there and such. But, and then it's to make up because next week we won't be here. So we will return on the 28th. So we thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed having your feedback during the show. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And love you guys. So we'll see you next time, okay?
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
96.2 The Smooth Road. Grown Folks Radio with Lady P.